Welcome to this week's edition of Patch News. I'm here with Adam Kantor, our director of our Jackson County programs. Adam, welcome to our show.
Thanks. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk about all things Jackson County. So I know we got a whole lot of stuff there to cover. You do a lot of stuff in Jackson County. With the new 21st Century Grant from the Department of Education, you're now in 4 schools. Tell me a little bit about those schools and what you got going on in each one.
Absolutely. We have Ripley Elementary, Ripley Middle School, Fairplain, and Kenna. And, we've had to downsize a little bit due to some different policies at the state level.
Right.
But we're making the best of it, and it's going really well.
And that's a good point. You used to be in all 10 schools in the county, and now due to the Department of Education's regulations for after-school programs, you're only able to do those 4.
Right. And we actually had the 10 schools and the 2 high schools. So
Right.
we went basically from 12 to 4. But that's their regulations. And, sometimes you just jump through the hoops they give you.
And we're going to make the best of it. So
That's
tell
right.
me a little bit, highlight a little bit about each site you have. Let's start with Ripley Elementary. Who's in charge there, and what kind of program do they have going on?
Missy Ross is in charge, and Mike Knopp does a whole lot to help out. They have all kinds of great programs going on. They got, just to highlight one particular program, they have a Lego class that is absolutely outstanding. They do a lot of, it sounds like they just go in there and play Legos, but they actually relate it to themed literacy. So
Right.
they take a book and they learn, different types of vocabulary and things like that. And then they manipulate Legos to go along with one of the themes in the stories.
And that's one of the things that I think you do well is to take literacy, reading and grammar, and tie that into a hands-on activity.
Absolutely.
So that brings their reading alive.
Yeah, and the key to all that is trying to get something that's fun for kids to show up
Right.
for, but on the same time, it meets all the requirements of being educational. So.
Right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Ripley Middle.
Yep.
And who you got in charge there. And
There we have Anne-Marie Crego and Debbie Click,
Yep.
and they're kind of sharing the responsibilities and doing a fantastic job. Some great art classes. We actually have math tutoring going on, which
Right.
this is the first semester we've done that with Mr. Shermer, and it's been successful. The
Yep.
kids are faithful for showing up, and it's helping their grades. And
Right.
It's been
And
very
sometimes
successful.
it's not always productive to have just a math tutoring class,
Right.
because what kid wants to do 8 hours of school and then show up for 2 more hours of math tutoring?
Right.
But they're doing it in a fun way, and
Right.
that's the key. The kids are getting there, they're getting the help they need. So not only do you offer fun classes, but you're offering
Right.
strictly academic classes as well. So
And in our programs, we're also doing fitness. I mean, fitness is just a general component to all the programs. And at Ripley Middle, they're also doing, other classes like
Right.
cooking and healthy eating and things like that.
Yep.
that's
So,
good.
Kenna, let's talk a little. Let's go with Fairplain. We'll
Okay,
go in
Fairplain
order
it
now
is.
as we go south. Talk a little bit about Fairplain. Who's in charge and the program there?
We've had a lot of community events at Fairplain. Michelle Kersey is
Right.
Our site coordinator there, but a lot of community events, doing things like bringing in local businesses to talk to the students.
Right.
We had actually McDonald's came in and talked with them. You would think that that might not be the healthiest choice, but actually it was a very great presentation about helping kids make smart choices at McDonald's.
Right. And we had we were there for our evaluation for that actual meeting, and Taylor Mills, one of our TIFU members from
Yep.
Ripley High School, was there as a representative from McDonald's talking about healthy choices. If you go to McDonald's, you can get the apple slices, the whole milk, and along with your hamburger or chicken nuggets to create a healthy meal alternative. And they showed up and gave away apple slices, milk, and water, and a whole stuff to do with that presentation about what's out in the community. So that's fantastic. Tying the school
Yes.
to the community along with the kids in mind. That's great stuff.
Yes.
Let's move on to Kenna. Tell me a little bit about Kenna and what you got going on there.
Kenna Elementary, we have Jennifer Lemons out there. She's doing an absolutely standout job. A lot of good staff on board. Some art classes that are just fantastic. They do a lot of things that are hands-on learning
Right.
out there, and it is it's really something to see.
So great program. That's another one that our evaluator went to
Yes.
to check our programs. So we go through all that. Shifting gears real quick,
Yep.
Daycare in Fairplain. Tell me a little bit about your daycare.
The daycare is just constantly growing. It's
Yep.
been a great thing. It's been a huge learning experience for what succeeds and what doesn't. But we started out very small, and
Right.
now we're just we're growing. Growing greatly. We have a preschool class, which is
Right.
universal preschool
In collaboration with the Board of
Yep.
Education.
Goes right with the Board of Ed. Parents don't pay to be in that classroom, so that's a good selling point to get kids out there. And be a part of the Board of Education. Then we also have infant classroom that we take children as young as 6 weeks old.
Right.
And then we have a 2, 3, 4-year-old classroom, and we're growing and we're adding staff, and it's been very successful. And they're doing a lot of themed weeks.
Right.
So we might have a Dr. Seuss week, and the kids make stuff and take it home, and that's the difference in that I've seen in Patch. A lot of things we do is that we like for them to be doing something all the time,
being
something
engaged
to take home.
and having hands-on activities, I think, are key.
Yes.
And I have a feeling with Mother's Day coming up, that'll be the theme here next week.
There's always a good theme.
Yeah. So that's the good stuff. All right. If anybody needs to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you to get more information about our programs in Jackson County?
Absolutely. They can call my office, 304-373-1076, or they can email me at akantor@patch21.org.
Right. Just go through our website, patch21.org, and contact any of us, specifically for Jackson County. The phone number's on there as well. So a lot of good stuff going on in Jackson County. So thanks for coming by and sharing with us.
Glad to be here.
And I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Thank you.
That's this week for Patch News, and specifically with Adam Kantor, the director of Jackson County, who's got a full plate of after school and daycare.
Good fun.
So we'll see you next week with more Patch News.